All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Metis timeline updates. I'll be your host for today, Pavel. Let me just start.
I also going to be helping Pavel, Elena Sinalikova as CEO, and Pavel is our tech evangelist, and he's also our main tech architect as well over the system.
Excellent, thank you. I will begin by going over the presentation. All right, so Metis timeline update. Before we go into the actual timeline, I'll be presenting Metis. So what we do, why we do it. I'll also announce some upcoming events and also in progress events, most notably the hackathon that we have. Then we'll go over the Metis timeline updates and have a Q&A session at the end. Brief disclaimer, this presentation is for educational and entertainment purposes only, as well as just general news about the platform. Please join the Telegram, as we'll be taking questions directly from the Telegram and answering them here. To begin, what is Metis? Metis is a platform. Metis is a platform that's built on top of Ethereum, leveraging the security as well as the decentralized nature of Ethereum. Metis aims to scale transactions. We aim to make transactions both cheaper, faster, and more scalable. But Metis is more than just a layer 2. The 3 core principles of Metis is scalability, security, and usability. We aim to make blockchain usable for people who might not be familiar with the ecosystem. As such, one of our goals, our vision, is to be the bridge to connect the Web 2 world to the Web 3 world. We support all applications that are currently built on Ethereum. We enable porting the applications directly built on Ethereum using with the EVM compatibility as well. So these include DeFi, dApps, NFTs, and others. We are an optimistic rollup. So what is an optimistic rollup? As I said in our introduction, we are built on top of Ethereum. So we leverage the security and the decentralization while also providing the scalability, the reduction in cost, as well as the faster transaction processing speeds. We do this by bundling the transactions that occur on Metis and eventually over to layer 1 where they become permanent. The transaction cost is split between all the transactions that are put in that bundle and sent off to layer 1. This means that we assume that all transactions are valid until proved otherwise. So as optimistic rollup, the optimistic in the name refers to the fact that all transactions are innocent until proven guilty. And we do this through our verification and validation program. So using verifiers as well as rangers, we aim to eliminate the risk that it poses for submitting invalid transactions. Finally, withdrawals to layer 1. we are not a single separate ecosystem. We aim to be fully compatible and able to bridge all assets to layer one. We're not an independent blockchain. We're not any sort of walled garden. We aim to be fully seamless, transitioning assets from layer one to layer two and back over as well. Now for the announcements portions. First is our ETH Online, which is still ongoing. So if you are a hacker, you are a person that knows blockchain programming experience or has blockchain programming experience, we highly recommend joining ETH Online to build on Metis. We're also hosting our own hackathon, going from October 2nd to November 30th, with a prize pool of over $1 million in Metis tokens. Now, what you're all waiting for, the timeline. Let's first go over where we are now. We are currently in the dev testnet stage. We have successfully implemented the optimistic rollup architecture. What this means is that we are fully EVM compatible, and we allow contracts that are EVM compatible to be deployed directly on Metis. We've also launched Polis, which is a management tool. It's a middleware tool to manage your smart contracts that you've deployed on Metis. We've also implemented multiple internal chains. So what this means, the multiple internal chains essentially allow for scalability improvements, as well as permissions. And you'll see in a moment how DACs, decentralized autonomous companies, will use these multiple internal chains to permission specific actions. So we've deployed those internal chains as part of the core infrastructure that allows for those permissions and scalability improvements. Next, our public testnet. On top of what we have already built for the dev testnet, we are building a bridge that allows transferring Metis tokens from layer one to layer two and back over from layer two to layer one. So during the public testnet phase, as it'll be ongoing between the months of October and November, we'll also launch decentralized autonomous companies. What this means is that the decentralized autonomous companies give you, your business, your organization, the functionality and tools that allow you to utilize and expand your business. So we aim to make that bridge from Web 2 to Web 3 using those decentralized autonomous companies and providing the functionality that's present. With the launch of the DACs will be the first of many implementations, which is the staking and mining program, which is released with the DAC. And I'll go over what exact functions the DAC will be, what exact functions or what exact functionality the DAC will be able to do. After a successful public testnet release, there will be peer node integration. So again, we need to go over, we need to test, we need to make sure that everything is working, that everything is properly committed. After the successful public testnet, we will launch peer node integration. So peer nodes allow for a more scalable solution. So currently, there have been limitations using a single node. This single node architecture involves the possibility of a bottleneck. In this case, many different projects, such as Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, have experienced those loads. When a lot of transactions have been processed, this has made the network slower in order to compensate for those higher amounts of transactions. So we aim to reduce the possibility of that bottleneck being present by having the concept of peer nodes. This also is intended to make the network more decentralized. So we want to implement these peer nodes so that the network remains as decentralized and accessible as possible. We also ensure that the network is stable so that it continues to work even under high pressure situations, even when there's a lot of transactions processing all at once. Finally, the performance aspect. This will maintain a similar transaction throughput than using a single main node as well. What are we releasing in the future? So within 6 months, we'll release the no-code smart contract templates. We will start with simple implementations of ERC20 and ERC721, but we're looking to expand it to more involved contracts with multiple contract deployments, all being connected, all being in a single click environment. We also will implement the IPFS-based data storage. What this means is that businesses, as well as content creators for NFTs and the like, can utilize this data storage, deploy their documents, deploy their images, deploy videos, and any multimedia content can be deployed on this IPFS-based data storage, so that projects or businesses looking to deploy on Metis don't have to go with another third-party data provider. Of course, that option will be present, but we aim to be as integrated as possible. So you'll have an integrated, decentralized storage solution. Finally, the additional DAC, decentralized autonomous company capabilities. So we aim to expand on the limitations that DAO has, so decentralized autonomous organizations currently have. We aim to make it more tailored to businesses and their needs. So what exactly should a DAC do? A DAC can contain roles. You can specify specific addresses for those roles: owners, admins, executives, employees. You can share files across the DAC, give certain users permissions. You can hire employees, allowing new addresses into the DAC and manage those addresses that recently joined. You have task management capabilities, payroll capabilities, as well as the limitation that DAOs currently have, the communication point. So we aim to make communication an integral part of a decentralized autonomous company. In comparison to what DAOs do and what DACs do. So DAOs are very limited in the sense that they provide voting, governance, and reputation powers for some of them. We aim to expand the functionality of a DAO and make it capable of much, much more. We aim to be that bridge between Web 2 and Web3. And we see that the business of the future is utilizing Web3, and we're providing toolings. We also have additional events, additional conferences that we are participating in and speaking in, including Blockchain Life, LizCon, NFT NYC, as well as the DevOps Summit. All previous questions that were asked in the previous Q&As will be posted on the qaa.metis.io. So please check out the website. If you have any questions, it's likely that that question was already answered in one of the previous Q&As. Just a final reminder that there will be a hackathon October 2nd, and that hackathon will be available to all participants that have Web3 projects, as well as looking to build on Metis. All right, now I'll take any questions as of right now.
Okay, thank you, Pavel. That's awesome. I think we have, for the questions, we have Kevin joined as well. And yeah, and we have the whole team here. We have, yes, we have Leah joined, and we have everyone here on the call as well. So yeah, so we're ready to answer your questions. So just to recap, we released the testnet for the hackathon participants. So now starting October 2nd, our hackathon submissions are accepted. So we're going to be opening submissions on October 2nd, closing them on November 30th. So it gives our hackers 2 months to participate, and we have so far registered 200 participants, but this is like hackathon is not started yet, so we're aiming for about 2,000 participants, but we're going to be updating you every Tuesday. We're going to have our partner speeches, our partner prizes, and the hackathon progress. You will see how we are doing as well. And at the same time, since our testnet stabilizes, so we're going to be releasing as we go, as Pavel described. Here starting from October, and then watch out for the announcements for the DAC mining. So we're going to be releasing the details soon. And then following the mainnet. So as Pavel said, we also participating in the events. So we're going to be traveling. It's actually our half of our team probably going to be traveling to Lisbon as well, so we participate in there in the Daoist and the LisCon as well. So we are big sponsors there, and we participate in a Blockchain Life. It's 5,000 people conference in Russia. So this is the largest conference, a blockchain conference in Russia, and then we're going to New York as well, the event on November as well. So these are the events that we're planned for. And of course, more is coming. So we are making our way through the community and keep onboarding the projects. So the only thing I think Pavel did not cover, we just released, last week we released our ecosystem as well. So we continue onboarding projects. So if you would like to onboard Metis, you can go to .io/grants and fill in the application. So we right now have lots and lots of projects, but we're going to be making announcements as we go. I think today we onboarded 10 projects as just like in just 1 week. So we probably are going to be doing more and more announcements about the projects that we're onboarding, and more announcements are coming, more exciting ones that we already have. That was something that we already have in the pipeline about the funding of the projects, about that. So please stay tuned. And now we start answering the questions.
There's one question that was related to what exactly has changed since the last timeline update.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, we are we want to make sure that the public testnet launches successfully. And so we're putting a lot of our effort into making sure that the public testnet is as usable, as stable as possible before launching the mainnet. So based on the results of the public testnet, we will launch the mainnet based off of that. So that's one of the key changes that is being present. So we want to make sure that the product is functional, that the product does what it's to do. And so there's no chance of any transactions being any transactions essentially not being processed successfully. So we want to mitigate those risks that, for example, the launches of Arbitrum, or in this case, there's a question related to Solana, related to how their entire network just shut down for that period of time. So we want to reduce and eliminate those risks before proceeding to launch with the mainnet. So that's the main changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is exactly why we are different from, Solana, Arbitrum, Optimism, because we are playing in the so our VMs, multi-VMs, our sequencers is a pool of sequencers. So, and they are created on demand. So as the network grows, so new resources are added. Also the peer nodes, even within one DAC, the peer nodes are added as well. So I was telling about it in the previous live stream. Yes, you can check out our last live stream that was also on Tuesday, September 21st. So you can check it out on our YouTube. Since you're watching on our YouTube, you can check it out. All the details about that and why Solana and Arbitrum are crashing, because they are designed to more like a linear, not as much scalable. But right now they're trying to resolve that. But it's very important to have this architecture from the very beginning, not as you go and fix it up. So this is not what we do. We are planning architecture from the beginning.
So regarding the timeline for staking, actually that's the same as Elena and Pavel has explained. Stability and security is what we are looking for. So that's what we are working on. But at the same time, we are also in a heavy test mode. I mean, we will release the update of the staking when it is ready. But anyone can be certain that we will have time for you to prepare. So it means it will be released at least 1 or 2 weeks before the staking starts. So you will have time to learn how to do the staking, how to invite people to join the DAC, and all the details. We will publish also the user guide and the video instructions. So don't worry about that. We hope to keep everyone to be fair to play this.
And we do the dedicated live stream about that as well, just on the rules, on exact rules of the staking. So yeah, you're not gonna miss it. Just follow us on Twitter, on Telegram, on YouTube, and then you will not miss it.
Yeah. And about the Metis swap testnet, was easy to participate. The public testnet, actually, it is similar. You can do the DAC staking and mining, and also, mining is kind of process to reward you for participate in the public testing. So it's similar.
Yes, and yeah, we did actually last Thursday. We did so Pavel did the Metis swap demonstration and learning to our Royal Bank of Canada. So the employees, 150 employees of the Royal Bank of Canada were learning DeFi using Metis swap. So this is some great news for us as well. So yeah, so people are learning our just the test tool.
In which platforms will the staking and mining be active? So it's on Metis layer 2 public testnet. And I would like to stake my Metis, but I want to sure if my tokens will be safe. Yeah, so actually I think we have stated this multiple times. Security is what we are pursuing. So I believe Pavel has explained that we have multi-level layers security measures to make sure it is safe. And also we have 2 other audit firms which have already published their audit report, and we are in the well secured layer. So you don't have to worry about the, from the code level, as far as we, on all these audit is safe.
Yeah, so we passed all the audits. Yes, is pretty much now is good to go. So for us, it's a load testing right now for the platform. Is your platform suitable for crypto beginners, or does it appeal to professional users? Since Metis is focusing on usability, yes, so we make a huge focus on the crypto beginners. And so basically, we just have, a couple of buttons and you click on them and it's ready to go. And then we also have the guides ready and the videos ready as well for you right there on the platform. So you can find the old information there. And if you cannot find any information, you can always Google it as well. So make sure that it's available. Or you can ask us anytime in the Telegram chat. So you can go to our Telegram chat, Metis DAO, and ask our moderators a question, and you will receive an answer right away as well.
There's a question related to ETH 2.0. So ETH 2.0 is a layer 1 scaling solution. We are a layer 2 scaling solution. So we're inheriting that scalability from layer 1 into layer 2. So what that means is that the ETH 2.0 upgrades will greatly impact layer 2. And by that, it means faster or more scalable transactions. So more transactions are able to be processed in that period of time. So it'll greatly benefit the layer 2 ecosystem for the ETH 2.0 upgrades, specifically the sharding.
Unfortunately, 2.0 upgrade will not solve all the issues of Ethereum, like everybody hoped to, and refer to the Vitalik speech where he's saying that layer 2 will be the essential part of the ecosystem, because without layers 2, still will be, the transactions are not that usable. So still the gas fees and everything will be the same.
But we're able to bundle more transactions in a single batch. And so that's what greatly improves the layer 2 ecosystem. So I would say that ETH 2 improves more of the layer 2 ecosystem in that case.
Yeah. All right. Oh, do we need a solution from Metis and his Rollup in the future for Ethereum version 2? I'm not sure I understand this question. So as far as I understand this question, will there be needed any upgrade for the Ethereum version 2.0 for our projects that are on Metis? Answer is no. So that's the answer. But I'm not sure if this is the question you asked. If not, that please rephrase it and ask again.
There's a question related to the DAC. DAC is first going to be used for staking, correct? If you have more members in your DAC, you get more staking power, correct? If you convert your DAC to more of a business use in the future, what role do members play? Oh, actually, DAC is a whole framework. Staking and mining is the first of few functions that we released for public testing. And we have already in the pipeline, the voting, investment, and also, task management, knowledge management. So all these functions can be used for the DAC. And so you can actually leverage your community members to manage your community or manage your project. That's what DAC going to be. So for current stage, is still an education stage. We hope to use staking and mining to reward you to create your DAC and to get familiar with all this structure. So in the future, you can use all these functions and templates to manage your projects or community.
And just in case I understood the question in a different way, if what the user is asking for has to do with your current members or new members of the DAC and whether you will keep them once DACs are actually used for businesses, the answer was in the part of the presentation where Pavel was explaining about roles. So you will have your members and you will be able to create different roles and grant your users or your members different categories of attributes. So with one role, you will get access to everybody, to all the documents, and you will be able to make all kinds of transactions. And there will be other more restricted roles where you can keep those members of your DAC that maybe join but are not that active or you are not transacting with in a regular basis.
Yeah. About this question, wondering how the mining power will be distributed only to the DC owner or to members as well as mining power increases. So basically at current stage, the DC member will have a fixed mining power, which is 80 with this kind of number, but the DAC owner will get the mining power of the DAC owner will be increased along with the new members joining his DAC. So, but the DAC owner will have a maximum mining power valued at 500. So there's no distribution of this mining power. At the current stage, creating a DAC is highly, recommended. Yeah.
Question related to the no-code smart contracts, asking if it's the same as the Polis middleware. The no-code smart contracts will be built into the Polis middleware, which will allow you to deploy those smart contracts directly within that application. So currently, you have to deploy the smart contracts manually and then import their ABI and address directly into Polis. But in the future, with the smart contract code templates, everything will be populated as soon as you deploy it, one click, and then you'll be able to manage that smart contract within Polis.
There's a question. Many applications were deployed on BSC Binance Chain, Matic, Phantom because this blockchain was low fees, high TPS. So projects from other blockchains can easily move to Metis in the future. Yes, as long as the project is EVM compatible, yes, it can move without any changes into Metis.
Just want to clarify that currently we support specific versions of Solidity. So the contracts have to be made within those specific versions of Solidity. So you can't use Rust, for example. You can't use any other type of smart contract programming language such as Viper currently in its current stage, as our compiler is only compatible with specific versions of Solidity.
But in the future, we will support the other languages too.
Yes.
which one of the key of Metis can compare with popular blockchain, BSC, Solana, Vax, Near, Phantom? We are in Ethereum community, Ethereum ecosystem, and Ethereum security as well. And Ethereum is one of the is the largest one and the most popular one. So yes, so right now the only difficulty with Ethereum, not only but majority of the difficulties come from the high gas fees, and that's exactly what solves, but Metis does much more than that, just solving the high gas fees. It's also connecting people and projects in our DAO framework.
Are we able to have our own custom currency in the DAC? For Metis, we are a layer 2 framework, layer 2 infrastructure. We will build tools and functions for DAC to operate, to manage. So there's one function that you can leverage is that you can issue your own token, but it's at your, you can issue or you can decide not to issue. It's all decided by your operations status. But yeah, there will be some tools for you to issue tokens.
How you explain how you achieve the decrease in the price of the gas in Ethereum network? Again, it's optimistic rollup. So we are talking about it in probably every live stream. Processing transactions in the batches, and therefore transaction fee is split between all the transactions in the batch, and that's how it is. And then commit all the transactions in once to Ethereum network. So therefore one gas fee is split between all transactions. So just to clarify, so we might be skipping some of the questions if it's involved, any questions involve exchanges, tokens, and everything. So this is something that we cannot stress enough, so that we are developing technology here. Metis token is the utility token that creates the economy inside. So we are not a DeFi project. We are not interested in selling more tokens or anything like that. So we are here to help projects and push forward the technology. So just excuse us if we don't, if we miss these questions. It's just these questions are difficult for us to answer, right? So because this is not what we do. What kind of breakthrough has Metis brought to layer 2? And comparing with other layer 2 projects, what Metis's advantages? Again, so if you turn to our other live streams as well, so we are building a scale, so we're focusing on the scalability. It means that more organizations, more projects are created on Metis. It will not affect other projects in the network. So therefore, we're creating resources on demand. So virtual machines are created on demand, chains are created on demand. So we have a pool of sequencers. So all the transactions should not wait for one sequencer to process transactions all the time. So it will be processed by the pool of the sequencers. And also we're building the framework for the decentralized validators for the rangers. So these are the differences. So what is result in a more scalable way of processing transactions without bottlenecks. So without stops, without bottlenecks, without crashes. So that's what we are aiming for.
There's a question about the difference between Metis and immutable wax. So Mutable X is a platform specifically for ERC20 and ERC721, while Metis is for the greater ecosystem. So any applications, no matter, it's not for specific tokens, it's not for fungible or non-fungible tokens, it's for all DeFi projects, all DeFi platforms. So we're not limited to specific contracts. So that's the biggest difference.
So there is a question about the Metis team. In order for you to see our Metis team, you can go to metis.io/company, or there's a menu company there, and we have our teams, pictures and LinkedIn. So yeah, so if in question, you can go there and see who is the team. Okay, very good question. Arbitrum and Optimism takes 7 days to deliver withdrawals back to Ethereum mainnet. How would Metis handle withdrawals since implementing Optimism rollups? A very good question. So remember I was talking about a pool of sequencers. And so this will allow us, and the rangers as well. So this is allow us to not to have one single sequencer and then wait for the verifiers to verify for a week. Allow us to post transaction faster, and then as well the rangers will be able to validate transactions much faster than 7 days. So we don't need to wait for the verifiers as Arbitrum and Optimism does. Our rangers will process transactions just in a couple of hours. So that's the main difference. And the rangers are decentralized as well. So not that they're not appointed, they're not chosen by Metis. So they are created by the economy by staking and mining a Metis token.
There's a question about minting NFTs that I will start, and maybe Pavel needs to complement. But I wanted to enhance that with the NFTs, it's not just about the cost of minting, but after you mint and you have your NFT, there are filing and storage issues that have to be addressed. And most current applications allow you to mint, but then you need to search for other alternatives in terms of storage and being able to move this NFT across other layers. So this is a big part of what we are addressing with our technology, being able to give you a full suite of solutions that allow you to be with us since you mint until you deliver the NFT to any other third party.
Yes, currently we're working on architecture to transition NFTs minted directly on layer 2, and then you're able to transition that layer 2 NFT to layer 1 at any point. And so have that capability of finding that NFT from layer 2 to layer 1. So essentially that ability to solidify that NFT created on layer 2 and make it official on layer 1. So we aim to make that a part of the built-in functionality as well, so that your NFTs aren't stuck on a specific layer. So they're not stuck on a layer 2. We aim to make that bridge between layer 1 and layer 2 seamless, so that no assets are just locked away in that walled garden. So we aim to make that very easily transferable.
And this is because of the design of our platform. we are creating right now the very beginning of these features and DAC management, but the idea is to grow with the economy and become your one-stop solution for addressing all your blockchain requirements.
Yeah, I also saw some questions related to what happened after the DAC staking and mining program ends. You know, there are a lot of concerns related to the dumping happened in many other staking programs. Actually, when you see that that situation happened, it mainly because most of that token have no real use, real utility. I mean, for Metis, it's totally different. It's not only a governance token, it's also the gas for you to pay the gas, and it's also you will need it to stake to create DAC and to do future collaborations. So Metis is a token that you can use. It has a real utility. So and also there will be continuous staking programs going ahead. So I don't think there will be some risks related to this when staking program ends. Yeah, what I want to say is that Metis token is a real utility token you can use not only for governance but also for staking for gas.
Can Metis layer 2 be overwhelmed with transactions and cause the network to jam in the future when more people are using Metis? So this is exactly what we are planning for, to have more and more people to use Metis and not to have the congestions. So this is why we created that adding on-demand resources method and architecture, and also right now with the peer nodes as well. And this is what we are load testing right now. Oh, how Metis leverage is relationship with CryptoChicks? It's a very good question, since both of the CryptoChicks co-founders work also right now join Metis team as well. So Metis is actually in somewhat started from the CryptoChicks as well, and with the partnership. So we told our story, so how we met with with Kevin and with Yuan together on the CryptoChicks projects, how we collaborated for a few years, for several years, on this idea on how to start building. So how we were doing the meetings together, then became part of the hackathon, then part of the CryptoChicks hatchery, and then we were able to get partnerships, raise money, and then yes, so we're doing it all together. Basically, Metis and CryptoChicks doing everything hand by hand, and in its turn, Metis now is going to be helping CryptoChicks hatchery, the project incubator, blockchain project incubator, helping women that build blockchain businesses to get funding. So that's what Metis does as well. So yeah, if you're interested, you can also join cryptochickshatchery.com. So we're going to start our new cohort in November.
And from Metis, I can say that also CryptoChicks is helping us create awareness of how to get into blockchain, how to participate in this new Web3 economy, because their experience with the educational processes and delivering the message in a very simple and approachable way is what we need for people to understand, that we are lowering the bar and we are allowing everybody who is interested to get a glimpse of how the Web3 economy is going to work.
Mm-hmm. And actually the whole team, whole Metis team has came from all the, Crypto Chicks contacts, like emailing workshops. So they all at some point were involved in the Crypto Chicks projects and the Crypto Chicks webinars. So they are all connected to Crypto Chicks. So yes, so you can say that, I can say that this has been a very great partnership indeed. And thank you for this question.
Are there any there are other assets handled other than tokens and NFTs? Yeah, that's also a very good question. Our infrastructure actually is working to solve, or to provide a bridge to bridge the Web 2 to Web 3. So it means we will help companies that, whether they're not in the blockchain or they're in the blockchain, to get into the blockchain space. So there will be some, I assume that if their company are handling different kind of assets in the physical world, they will need to bridge to the Web3. So our infrastructure supports other than tokens and NFTs. So all the assets can be bridged, and it's all based on the requirements from our partnership projects. Can we have lending and borrowing during staking meetings for holders? Actually, that is not what we offer, but I think the projects on Metis layer 2, they will offer this kind of service.
And then since you will be part of the DCs in Metis, you can use the service of the projects that are on Metis before.
Yeah. Oh, regarding the audit report, yeah, actually we have received audit reports from both auditors. As I stated, it's all in the well-secured state, and it will be released along with our DAC staking and mining web page, which we call portal. Yeah.
So yeah, it will be released during the DAC staking and mining release. I think we have room for one more, maybe, because it's we're almost at the end of the hour.
So maybe elaborating on the question about different assets other than tokens and NFTs, since we are EVM compatible and we will receive all kind of smart contracts that developers can think about. Basically, your needs and your imagination is the limit. Whatever you design that runs on compatible smart contracts and EVM criteria will be able to be deployed in our platform. So it depends on whatever needs the projects will have, and how you are for defining those apps and services.
All right. So we have only 5 minutes until the end of the hour. I just would like to reiterate that this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So that is it 1 p.m. UTC? Correct me if I'm wrong.
2 p.m.
So 2 p.m. UTC. So thank you, Kevin. 2 p.m. UTC. We're going to have our hackathon kickoff meeting, the opening ceremony. So we're going to explain all the prizes, everything. We invite you to our live stream again. So stay tuned on our YouTube. You can also join our Telegram and Twitter to get the link, or if you subscribe to our newsletter at metis.io, you will get a newsletter about that as well. And of course, welcome to participate in our hackathon, because this is going to be huge fun, and we have $1 million in the prizes, so might as well. And on that, so I'm just turning back to Pavel to say any final notes.
Yes, and I would like to just reiterate that currently our timelines are very tight in terms of what we're outputting. We want to make sure that our product is usable, scalable, and secure. So those three core principles. And so we want to make sure that when we release the mainnet, it'll be all those three things combined. And so that you will be able to do your transactions and have peace of mind that everything is working as it should. So I would like to thank you all for attending, and hope to see you during the next live stream, I believe next week.
And on Saturday.
And on Saturday as well.
Okay. Thank you
For the
very much,
hackathon.
everyone.